fans are debating the best donuts, and Tim Hortons isn't even in the running.
I actually agree with that. Tim Hortons is pretty bad.
Dude, Tim Hortons, I don't like it.
Although I wouldn't say I like any. Wait, best donut?
Yeah.
The donuts is the only thing they do good. So I'm gonna say actually that makes no sense.
Donuts are shit, dude.
But my main question on the table is, who has the better donut? Guy, I don't fucking like donuts, but I fucking eat them. What's up with that? I don't fucking know what I like.
If you had to say Tim Hortons or another donut.
I wouldn't even. I would say Tim Hortons personally because I think they're. I don't like anything they fucking make, but
Dude,
fuck, I like their donuts.
Tim Hortons donuts are awful.
That's. I wouldn't say
You
they're
eat
awful.
a donut, you never like, yeah, I'm glad I ate that.
No, because other times when I go to fucking other fucking places and they have donuts, they're always bad. But Tim Hortons, I like what they make, even though I don't like anything.
What, the dollar store?
No, like when you go to a bakery and you have a donut, and it just tastes like a big, thick piece of bread, and it's not good, and it's not tasty, and there's no sugar on it. It just tastes
Maybe
like.
they don't specialize in donuts. You gotta go to the bakeries who specialize.
One time I went to a donut shop. It was called Mr. Donut. It was in like near Ashbury, and it was fucking bad. It was terrible. It was so fucking bad. It was in the Manor Park area. Is Ashbury in Manor Park? I just assume it's all big houses there.
Alright, it was nice meeting you.
I would say so, but I'm gonna disagree because you just argued. You didn't even say anything. It's irrational. You're fucking stupid.
Video Project 2. Video Project 2. Video Project 2. Video Project 2. Summer Retrospective. Project Video Project 2. Video Project 2. Video Project 1 was such a huge success. We got a review from this guy named Degrassi Fan 730, and he said, yeah, everybody has been waiting for this. The summer's over now, so we're looking back on the summer. The summer's over, school is starting up again, and instead of moping around and dreading the school year, we're just gonna celebrate the summer because that's just the way it ought to be. It's really a beautiful time of the year. Unlike the school year time. There are 3 boys today, and they will be recounting their summers and their different perspectives. The summer is my favorite time of the year. There's no school, and it's just like heaven sometimes. The summer may be over, but I'm not. The sun is still out. The summer's over. It's a back to school special is what it is. We're looking back on the summer and celebrating it and saying goodbye to it with a happy face. 3 boys traverse suburban Ottawa in search of something more. What they find is beyond anyone's expectations. Rating 4 stars out of 5. Summer, sunscreen, sunburn, sundress, Sunday, sunray, sunlight, sunset, sunrise. Summer is a time of relaxation for some. For others, it's a time of activation. This is the first summer for all of us following a year in university. Roll tape.
then she smiled, just for a fraction of a little while, and everything was warm again inside. She's got a sunshine smile, the kind that warms up the corners of my cold room. She's got a sunshine smile, the kind that makes you forget again. Sunshine smile, sunshine smile, sunshine smile, sunshine then she said, if you're gonna be someone else, I'd rather be somebody else with you. That's exactly how I felt. How does it feel?
I would say that this is the best summer so far of my life. It was more active than any other summer I've had previously. Like, I didn't have long stretches of being bored or anything. I went on a lot of trips. I saw my friends a lot. It was really just a great summer. This was, I would say, the greatest summer of my life.
My summer went well. First 3 weeks was at home, just relaxing, catching up on all the sleep I hadn't had in weeks. And the next 7 weeks were in Saint Jean, where I did the second phase of my basic training. It was good. It was a leadership course. I liked that a lot. But it was a challenge. It wasn't always fun. But in the end I was proud of it. And then I came back, took the time I needed to get driver's license, and I have it now. And it's done. It's well done as well. I'm happy with that.
I think it was a good summer. It definitely wasn't my best summer. My favorite summer was maybe my high school summer, when I really hung out with my friends, and I was just really happy about it because, I felt like I finally finished something. I felt like I achieved something when I graduated high school. So that was probably my favorite summer. But this was still a good summer. I still hung out with my friends a lot, which is good. I did a lot of community service stuff too, which I really did enjoy. So yeah, it was a good summer.
What would be good adjectives to describe me this summer? More social, active, proactive, fit, took the time to work out, that's for sure. Anxious, but ready. And beholding the future.
My favorite memory so far this summer, or of the summer's over, is when I went to Toronto, I think. And I spent the night at Matt's house, my friend Matt, who lives in Toronto, who lives in Whitby, I should say. And we played like Foursquare at night with Curtis and Phil and Finn. And we just remade the rules of Foursquare. It was like to this point where it was like this complete bastardization, and it was so retarded, the game that we invented. It made no sense. It was closer to basketball than Foursquare, with sort of the rules of tennis a little. It made no sense. But it was a lot of fun. I had a great night, and then afterwards we went back to Matt's house, and we invented this drinking game with dice. We call it Dice Game, and it was a lot of fun. We just had a great night. Yeah, that whole trip to Toronto was a very fun time.
Favorite memory of the summer? Has to be the first few days where I thought that I had so much time in front of me. And I did have a lot of time. I could do so many things. I did so many things. But the first day of the summer I thought to myself, I have so much time to do so many things that I wanted, and I did. To me it was the wonder, the initial wonder, to think you can do anything. You can be anything. and it became something, not anything, but it's good enough.
I had a few good moments in the summer. I can't really choose which one's better, but I know definitely one thing about working on my EP was fun. I think I enjoyed kind of staying up and just writing stuff because I got a lot off my mind. I felt really good to just kind of like write stuff, so that felt really good too. Obviously, hanging out with my friends Jacob, Jackson, Riley, so all those guys, that was really good times too. When we went up end of August to like talk show together, that was a lot of fun. Definitely doing like my community service stuff. Yeah, at times it was really tough, you know, like I was going through a lot during that time too, but when you finish and you kind of like help the community and that sort of stuff, it makes you really feel good about it. So I'm really happy I got to do more than just hang out with my friends during the summer and actually achieve things. So, yeah.
I tried to push my limits this summer. More on the social aspects during my basic military training, but the rest of the time it was just me trying to explore my individual and understanding myself in the context of being an adult. Because when I turned 19, I thought to myself, that's the last year of being 18. From 13 to 19, then I'm going to be 20. And then it gets boring. You enter the steps of your life where you're going to get your routine, you're going to get a job, and then you're going to do this and do that, you're going to work from Monday to Friday, and then you're going to have a weekend, you're going to be tired. So instead of being scared of entering a routine, I need to understand that a routine doesn't need to be monotone. I can be happy about it. I can still live an exciting life through myself, even though the world around me won't be an infinite vacation. I was able to understand that my life has value through my own accord, and I value it a lot, and I will make sure it's worth my while.
Well, I think this summer has been better than all the other summers of my life, just because I always had something going on. There was always like an interesting event that happened this summer. Like when I went to go see Of Montreal, when I went to go see Brockhampton, when I went to go see when we went to go see Broken Social Scene. That was a great night. I loved going to go see Broken Social Scene. Like, and I was just always like, I had like a positive energy throughout this summer. Like usually during summer, like there's like, it starts off really strong, and then it sort of slows down, and it's less exciting, and I get kind of bored, and then I do things less often, and it just sort of becomes like routine almost to just do nothing or do very little. But this summer, I was always active, and there was always something to do. There was always someone to go see. There was always something to do, really, and I really just had a great time this summer. It was just like always enjoyable, even though there were some like minor things that weren't as interesting. As a whole, this summer was always appealing, and there wasn't like the long stretches of bad, if I could say.
It was the first summer out of high school. That was a big step. Because you're officially an adult. You have to act like an adult, you have to think like an adult, you have to be an adult. I think it was more sad because I knew what to expect, but what was waiting for me wasn't innocence. It's the knowledge of things that are not that pleasant. You have to deal with a lot of things you don't deal before, finances, you have to worry about a job, you have to worry about your studies, which is not comparable to high school in any way, and you have to live your own life by yourself. It's hard. It really is. And during the summer, even though you can still run away a bit from that, there's no escaping it, but you have to come to terms with it. It's the only way.
this is the story about our chair in high school. So what happened was this is maybe the week before Easter. So I think it was maybe me, Nelson, Jacob, Jackson, or no, not Jackson, Riley, and Antoine. That was the five that were out there for the whole time, I believe. I think other guys were either in and out of the school at the time. So we had just been like chilling. We're walking to the park like we usually do every day, and we noticed just a chair, right, just chilling. It just chills there, whatever, right. And it's just sitting outside, and no one actually ever moves it, right. And then I think one day on a Thursday, but before Easter, we had come outside and the chair was gone, and we had no idea where it was. And then we came back on I believe it was Tuesday or Monday, or whenever the break ended, and just out of nowhere it was on like a, what's it called? It was on a car, and we decided that was so funny. Be like, oh my god, it's moving, it's crazy, and we had like claimed it as Jesus. It was really funny and stuff like that. And then I believe what happened? And then we came back the next day, and it was actually on like this big sort of like electrical thing, and it was just moving all over. And we had thought it'd be a good idea to maybe keep it as our own, and maybe have it as like almost like a Jesus. So like every day we go outside and we'd be like, hey, where's it going today? And one day we went up to the mountain, which is over there. Next day we moved to places after every day. Then we come back to it, and we'd always move it until I believe we actually brought it to the park down over there. And we actually put it on the roof of like the big the big building. Every day we'd go show up on the building with the chair, and it was our best friend, our buddy. And yeah, that's the story of the chair. The chair, I thought of the chair as my son, because I know one thing is I think every day I wanted to keep seeing him again. Or I think one thing after school, after we graduate high school, during the summer of graduation, after we graduated, is I wanted to go visit him. I wanted to go visit the chair at the park, but everyone's just like, no, it's a chair. And I always thought it was more than that. I felt like to me, it felt like it was maybe like a symbolism of my high school life. I would just move from good place to bad place, for example, and then until the end where he finally got to the top and he almost achieved his job. I feel like that was like a symbol for me in high school, at least. And I felt a connection to it because I felt like, the chair was always there for us. Even though he was moving around, he was still always at the same spot for us, We are currently going to the park. This is where we hung out every day, at least for our senior year. I think we hung out here sometimes in grade 11, but senior year, this is where we usually hung out. Good times here, a lot of good times here. A Swaggy Hatcher was actually filmed over here on the swing, so we can go there too. A lot of good talks were here. A lot of really good Snapchats were there too. The roof was a very special place. That was obviously where the chair kind of had his burial, and that's where we last saw him. Maybe he's up there. I don't know. If we see him, I'm gonna be very, very happy. But that's where he last was. We used to climb up on the roof all the time. It was where we kind of sat down and we just hung out, especially me and Jacob. I know Antoine never climbed it because he was really scared about it. But I think everyone else got there at least once other than Antoine. And it was just a nice place to hang out. We had some good laughs there. I'm gonna actually call bylaw because we're just chilling on the roof. Some guy on this house over here, he's like, hey, get down and we're calling bylaw. Just for no reason. So this is our building. The chair's gone. There's no justice. This is where we climbed to the roof every single day. I'm not climbing now because there are people around me, so I don't look like a psychopath. So what I wanted to do with the chair at the end of the summer was that I just wanted to give it like a final send off. And I think one idea we had was would be to bury it, but that'd be like we'd have to dig like a really deep hole. So it didn't really make much sense. But the idea was is we'd come back and like reclaim the chair if it was still there, of course. And I think one thing we had spoken about is we had spoken about taking it to like the roof or like the building all the way up there, and like put it on the roof. Then come back to this roof over here, and it's almost like almost make it like a montage video. I just kind of like show it like this is like its ultimate achievement, its ultimate goal. It made it to like this super high up. We never would have thought it would have made it this high up when it was just on the ground near school one day, or like on the hill, or on this roof one day. So like the fact that I made it that high would be like almost symbolism for like our achievements, maybe, for example. So that was my idea, but I think no one was really on board with it because, of course, they were just like, it's just a chair. But yeah.
Sorry, but I don't understand.
least favorite memory. It's got to be that one time that we ran so long. We ran. It was a morning training, and then they said we're going to run. So we did run, but we didn't stop. And I think it went on for an hour and 15 minutes, and in the end, people just couldn't do it anymore. Half of them had to stop before, but I finished it, but I wasn't proud of it, because it was nonsensical. It wasn't an exercise, it was just a way to punish us. I didn't like it because it wasn't a way to make us better, to have a better perspective. It was just to make us suffer, and pain is special. You can accept it, or you can suffer from it. That was really painful, not for what was exposed, but for the reasons behind it. I did not like that.
And a sad moment I had this summer was during my some of the work I did for my community service. We had what's called a teaching project. So what we'd done is we had talked to a lot of people that were in Ottawa that are interested in doing what we are doing, and we had gotten them all together for maybe a full week, and maybe just tried to help them do what we're doing, for example, in our community in Greenville, for example. And I remember, I don't know why, but my friends for the community service, I think I felt like they just weren't talking to me then, and I think there was one point we were just all together, and I felt so detached from them and everyone around me, and I just felt like alone, and I felt like I just nobody loved me at that one point, and I was that made me super depressed.
Probably my least favorite memory of the summer is just something I did that was oh, actually, I know what it was. It was yesterday. I showed up 1 minute late to work, and my boss was trying to fire me for it, for being 1 minute late, and it was pouring rain, and it was just awful. It was pouring rain, and I was biking to work. I rode a little slow, so for my safety. And he tried to fire me for it. He gave me a written warning. He was just if you get a second one, I'm firing you. He was being so rude about it. He wasn't understanding. It was just awful. That unfortunately ruined my day, unfortunately. I still had a good time afterwards, but just in that moment, it was awful, and I could not stand that it happened, and I was just furious at him. And I don't know, there probably have been worse things that happened throughout the summer, but that was just something that really made me angry, and it's what I can think of right now.
I explored a lot of music this summer. A lot of different types of music. But mostly a lot of music in specific categories. I liked that a lot. It was good. It was fun. It was new. But most importantly, it was inspiring. That's what music is. It's the flow of the soul. You dance with the music. Not literally, but you can feel the music, and that I find is really deep. It's good.
One good moment I had with friends this summer was I believe it was me, Jacob, and Jackson, and we were in Jackson's basement, and we were working on a song, and I remember we just kind of just sat together and just worked on music, and I thought that was a lot of fun because one thing it almost gave me an intro for me to start my own music, for example, and it maybe showed me what maybe if I was to invest more of my life into music, it maybe show me what that would maybe be like, and I had a really good time because obviously I'm with my friends, and we were able to create something I think is really nice.
Well, throughout the summer, I made a lot of music, which is something I've never really done before, and I am actually quite proud with how it turned out. I'm well aware that, it's not the greatest or thought out thing ever, but it was a lot of fun, and I think I genuinely learned a lot, and I think I created some things that are kind of interesting. I really like what I made, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. I'm serious when I say that I like that I made it, and I liked how it turned out. It's quite, whoa, that person has a weird thing on their head. But, no, yeah, the music I made this summer and the art I made, whatever, arts, I liked it, and I'm proud that I made it, and it's definitely, made me want to keep making music. It's weird. When I was talking to my brother about music recently, he was telling me, it was weird how passionately I was talking about, making music. It reminded him of, his friend when he was, in grade 10, and all he ever talked about was making music. And I was I don't know, I felt kind of flattered by that because, I don't know, just like hearing someone tell me that like it shows that I'm really like interested and passionate in this one thing was quite great. I don't know. I felt really happy when he was telling me that, and also for the fact that I like how it turned out and that I'm happy with the product that I made. Yeah. I'm definitely going to continue making music into the future because of this. I already have ideas and that's another thing. Like I constantly have new ideas for things I want to do with music, even though some of them are really, really stupid. I just want to, I'm curious and I want to keep working at it. And I think that this summer was like a crucial part of it, that I don't know, I actually developed something and I made something interesting, to me at least. And I'm glad with how it turned out.
An album I really enjoyed this summer was Jekyll's KOD. Personally, I don't think it was one of his best albums. It was released in April. I don't think it's one of his best albums. I think like, music-wise it's gone down, but just the story he was able to capture it. Not only his perspective, but another perspective was just crazy. I don't know. There's something about him just like telling stories that just kind of just like grabs my attention. And it's just like he always goes so like deep into these things where it's like it's not even his perspective. And the album was mainly about like addiction, whether that be through either sex, drugs, money, love, etc. And he just goes like into like different perspectives with all of them. And I just think it's really powerful for me. Yeah.
The piece of media that consumed the most of my time this summer, and that, you know, was definitely a seminal part of this summer, the 2018 summer experience, was the book I read, The Sun Also Rises. I started reading this book in late May, and I only finished it in mid-August. It took a really long time, and it really shouldn't have taken this long, because it's not a long book. I read it very slowly. I sometimes went weeks without reading it, and for the most part I actually found the book not that interesting, and it was sort of just like a mood book. Like it reminded me of like rap music, where it's sort of just like a mood that's being presented for like one theme. But it actually, when it came to the end and I got over like the routine that the book was presenting, sorta, it really was quite interesting, and I really, really loved the ending. And the whole concept behind it was quite interesting when I look back on it. And when I look back on it, like I find every part of it interesting, even the parts that I really could not care for when I was reading it. But I find them interesting looking back on it. And I think that's really, I don't know, it definitely had a large impact on me, despite me having little interest in it while I was actually like reading it, which is, I don't know, I find cool. And the ending was just fantastic. The ending was truly something new. I loved it. See, I say I loved it, but while I was reading it, I would have not said that.
Jean-Loup Vacher. Great guy. Very philosophical. We had great discussions. And one evening, we had a discussion that went on for 3 hours. And we came to a conclusion that nothing is real, with the exception that nothing is real. And then became an Israel joke, and then people thought that was really weird, but it was just an inside joke between the two of us. So, it was good. It was good because I like to discuss really, really deeply in subjects, and we did that, and it was good. I liked it a lot.
So, dreams I've had this summer. So, this first dream might have been in, I believe, July, where I don't know what the situation was. I remember I was with this girl that I know, and she just kind of like grabbed me by the shoulders, put her like forehead against my forehead, and looked me in the eye and just said like, "I care about you." And I don't know what it was about that, but it just made me like super like happy. So I woke up like right away after that, because I was just like, it almost felt like a high, because I was just so excited to hear that from her. It meant a lot. My second dream was actually recently, where it was just like me and a bunch of friends, whether it be like my friends from high school or the friends I do community service with. We were just both together, and we just all had a good time, and I didn't think about anything bad, and we just had so much fun, and I feel like I wish I'd almost done that for like the entire summer.
Oh, I had a really good dream recently where I was at a wedding, and it was weird. It wasn't like my wedding or anything, but I remember I was like really, really well dressed. I was like more well dressed than the groom, and I looked really, really good in it. And it was just like a whole lot of fun. Like I was having a lot of fun, and I was talking to everyone. And then afterwards, like I just like went to the candy bar and just ate candy for the rest of the night. Like it went like really, really good at first, and then afterwards, I just like. Then afterwards, it just went really bad, and I just ate candy, and I ignored everyone. I don't know why I did this, and I was kind of disappointed when I woke up. But that's a recent dream I had, where I was at a wedding, and it was like good and then bad. If that makes sense.
The love life, it's not going too well. The girl that I am currently in love with, she's very nice. She's very nice. I think she's very pretty. She's one nice people I've ever met in my life, honestly. And personally, I don't think she likes me. Not even like love me. I don't even think she likes me as a person. I don't think she even like thinks of me as like a close friend, which really saddens me because I've only known even though I've only known her for 2 years. I feel like we could have made like a closer connection where we could have been more friends, but that hasn't really worked out. And some of the songs I've actually written have been about her. It's not exactly specifically all about her, but when I mentioned a female in a song, it was likely about her too. So that's one thing. And one thing I've also like thought about is like, should I just kind of keep going with this? Because I think it's fairly obvious that I don't have much of a chance with her. Should I maybe just kind of give into it? But I think like if I give up, and well, like the thought of maybe me saying what if, it's like it kind of just keeps me going. Whereas I have to like at least try, and I just get like a definitive answer to my question. So it's not going too right now, but hopefully it gets better in the future. She's older. Yeah, she's older. The thing about that is when she's 40, I'll be like 36. So it doesn't seem that bad. So it's all right.
One of the things that I did, specifically, I used my bike a lot. I went pretty far. Easily 50 kilometers in a day. But that only happened a few times. So these were minor events, but they were good and they were challenging. But they were fun. I went far. I saw a lot of cool things. Talked to a few people. It was interesting. It was an alone time for me to be alone, to reflect. It was good.
I started my journal, I believe it was October 14th. I have it with me right now, so I can check for reference. But the reason I started is because I wanted to work on a project about things that I maybe learned or done this summer. But I can't remember. It started August 15th. But I remember for this is I wanted to do a project on something I can just kind of like write about the summer and maybe what I'd gone through, maybe just talk about it like that. But I didn't remember anything from the summer. So I'm just like, I wish I just written it down because I feel like I had good thoughts and ideas about the summer that could have been really good for the project that I couldn't actually end up doing because I didn't have any of the notes. So what I got this journal from I got it for a dollar for $1, actually, which was a really good price. And I just write how I'm feeling inside of it, maybe how I'm feeling about others, maybe lyrics that I think of from time to time, how I'm feeling, maybe something that happened so I can maybe remember it. But the main goal for this, at least my main goal for my journal for me is I can maybe look through like the thoughts I had in the past and maybe think about them in the future. Hopefully when my thoughts maybe change about it on different perspectives, so I can hopefully solve that problem or continue to maybe improve on that thought I had. Because I think I had some really good thoughts before I had this journal that I did not write down. I feel like I almost wasted them because I forgot about them. So yeah, this journal's really helped me a lot because I'm able to go through like everything I thought about like the last 3 weeks since I've had it. So it's really helped me through that. And I also write lyrics in here too whenever I can, obviously. But yeah. So for journal entries, this is on my second day where I'd written that I want to strive to become a better person. And personally, this is August 16th I wrote this, and I'm not sure if I've actually done that. So what I'm looking to do now is kind of figure out how I can kind of improve and become a better person. And so far I'm pretty disappointed, even though it's only been 3 weeks, but still, it's still something I definitely want to improve on. What's this next one? This one I kind of just talked about. Here I just talked about how my sister's friends who actually graduated university this year had wanted to like hang out with me, and I thought that was like really cool because I felt like at one point like, hey, like these dudes that I barely even know are calling me up to hang out with me, but like some of my friends like don't even like never even like rarely even talk to me anymore too, so which that was like super cool. That it also kind of told me a lot about how I should maybe perceive things, you know, like about like with like friendships for example. So that said a lot to me. Here actually I had a dream about I cuddled with this girl that I know, and I'm not sure. I don't know. That's just a dream that I had, and I wrote it down. That's the first dream actually the only dream I've written down in my journal so far. And I'm not sure if that means like I like her or not, but that's just something I kind of thought of, and I kind of contemplated for like a couple pages. What else? This is a good one. I'm gonna read this one just straight up. Driving is the easiest shit on the entire planet. If I don't get my G2 before September 14th, I'm throwing down with myself because I'm a little bitch. That's fully quoted right there. I still got like about 11 days before I find myself, so I'm really excited for that one. What was I about over here? Oh yeah, over here. Recently I did a camp with my friends for community service, so, and we got about 20 some kids in our neighborhood, and we had a 4-day camp with them, at the community center. And one of the guys I talked to, I've only known him for a couple months, but I talked to him about this thing I was thinking about, how I felt like some of the people that I knew, that some of my friends didn't actually like me, and I'd asked him if he maybe felt the same way, and he did, and we kind of talked about it, and we tried to maybe figure out like what it was. Maybe it was something about us, maybe it was something about them, and it was just really, this cool conversation. How this he was only 16 years old, and it made me feel better because I was like, I got to see like talk to him and learn more about him, and got to maybe think about myself as a person too. So that was really good one too. I had. Here's this This is for like the last day of the camp that we had, where I'd actually hugged one of the girls that I kind of currently love, and I was just like I talked about before, I almost think that that she doesn't even like me as a person, but at that one moment I felt like, hey, maybe it's different, but I feel like that thought's been kind of on and off the whole summer. I'm still not even sure about that. What else? Over here, I wrote about this conversation I had with Jacob out on Twins House when all the boys got back together for the summer. And I talked about how I had a really good conversation with Jacob about like 4 o'clock in the morning about, and I got to learn more about him, more about how he was perceiving everything, and I gave him maybe my 2 cents on how he can maybe improve. I hope he sort of takes that in, but obviously I don't want to like force him to like kind of change or whatever. But that was just a good conversation I had. What's this? So one thing I wrote down here, August 28th, is I'd still been saying to myself that I want to improve as a person, but I still haven't done that yet. And one thing I talked about, I'd be like, yeah, compared to other people, I think I'm a better person than them, but that's not what I should be thinking, being like, because I'm better than this person, that I just don't have to improve anymore. I still have to, my goal obviously is to become the best person I possibly can. Obviously not as a competition, but like, you know, like for myself to improve, right? So one thing I read about during like the wedding day is I'd read maybe like 6 pages about this girl that I really like, and how it was just like how I just thought like she was just so like beautiful, and like how like I just want her, but I felt like it was almost like useless and hopeless because it's kind of obvious that she doesn't actually have the feelings for me. But I just kind of written about how much like I like really wanted her, about how she didn't actually view me as like a friend to a certain extent, where I feel like, in my opinion, she likes people way more than she likes me. These are just like friends. Which made me really feel bad. I wrote a lot about that. One thing actually is I had sort of been sitting pretty quietly at one of the tables during the wedding, and one of the guys that I knew had actually come up to me, and I talked to him recently in the past about how I felt personally it was difficult to like talk about what I was thinking about for other people, because I felt like I felt like if I'd gone up to someone and told them I want to talk about this stuff, I felt like I'd be forcing them to do so. So he had approached me, and he had told me like, yeah, I want to hear what you have to say, and I just kind of talked about what I was feeling at the time, and how it was almost like how maybe I was thinking about what had been going on throughout the summer, and he had been super nice to me about it, and really helped me out through that kind of stuff, and I feel like I almost like kind of connected to him and really became really good friends with that. One thing I feel like I've been doing this whole summer is I've been looking to women actually in my life as people I should talk to about my feelings, but I think I realized at the wedding that all the conversations I've had with women have not gone very well, but all the conversations I have had with guys around me, whether that be my friends from high school or community service, have gone way better, and they've been able to help me way more about that, and they've almost seemed like they'd be more caring with that. So one thing, I obviously don't hate women, of course, and definitely not a shot at women, but I just feel like the conversations I've had with women as of recently have just not gone as well as they've gone with guys. So I feel like when you talk about your feelings, you maybe want to stay with that same gender. At least that's how I'm perceiving it as of right now. Maybe that changes in the future, maybe not. Maybe it just happens around the wrong people. But last thing I had written down was a list of people that I felt like I can maybe talk to about these things, and people I should talk to about these things for some reason. People that I'm just not sure about yet. I had written down people that I know that I'd be like, this is definitely someone that I can trust with this sort of stuff. These people I should not talk about this sort of stuff because they're not going to help me, and I don't even think they like me, so I stay away from them. And people in the middle that I consider who on each or either side, because I'm still not sure about how I should gauge that yet. But yeah, that's all I got.
Now that summer's ending, I feel kind of happy, to be honest. I don't know why. I'm not really looking forward to school. School's gonna be really hard this year. I have an awful schedule. Semester's gonna be hard, but I'm looking forward for like seeing the leaves change and being able to go outside, just having a fun time at school with like my school friends, you know, the ones from out of town that I don't see too often. I'm looking forward to all that. And also I'm looking forward to actually like being more productive and actually doing stuff again that isn't just fun. Like I'm looking forward to being concentrated on something that isn't just for recreation. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm looking forward to having more structure. Like more structured. I don't think it'll last long that I'm interested in that, but for right now it's kind of what I want.
For going to school this year, I'm kind of scared, but I'm not as scared as I was last year because college isn't as bad as I thought it would be. And I'm obviously going into it. I'm not going into it blind this year. so I know what it's gonna be like. But obviously, the fact that starting school is pretty scary. Also, the fact that I only have about 2 years left, and then I'm gonna be finished my major. I'll probably have to start working is pretty scary too. So just like the thing about school is it kind of reminds you of like, hey, you're growing up. This is kind of like your last years. That's pretty scary. But I'm only 19, so see how it goes. I don't have too many friends. It's like I think I made like maybe 2 or 3 friends, and I think I made one friend first semester and I haven't seen him since the first semester. Then I made 2 friends second semester, who are both leaving college. So I don't know. So I don't have many. I don't think I have any friends anymore. That's it. So, well, other than like Devin, but I really see Devin because he's not in my class. He's probably gonna leave the next year too. So my social status is pretty low right now, but we're gonna build it. I'm gonna get 40 girlfriends and see how that goes.
I'm not too excited to go back to school. Not at all. But I like school. I like to learn. It's the few things here and there that bother me. The project here, the work there, the study there, the test there. But that's it. In general, I like it a lot. It's just the steps to accomplish my goals that are hard individually. But altogether, they're all worth it. So I just need to think on the long term. Think, what will I accomplish? Not how hard is it going to be. Because that's not the right way to see it, to look at things at all. You have to say, what will I be able to accomplish? How far can I get? How far can I push myself as far as possible? Don't try to think, I'm going to lack sleep there, I'm going to stress for a test here. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Do your best and be proud of what your best is.
I just want to say that I'm planning for all summers in the future being more like this one, and this should be like a blueprint for summer to me, like that I can only like perfect, I mean, summer comes around every year, and usually it's my least favorite time of the year, but this time around it was different, and I want to keep being that way.
My last thoughts on the summer, I feel like I did a lot, but I don't feel like I did enough. I feel like I should have maybe done more in my community. I know I did a lot of I did some summer camps. I had some groups, whatever. But I feel like I kind of want to do more. I feel like I didn't grow enough as a person. I feel like I grew a lot. I grew a lot as a person this summer, but I feel like I didn't see it. It's not really an exponential growth. So I felt like I could have become a much better person, but obviously that takes time. I'm only 19. I'm not trying to rush that at all. But it was a good summer. I got to hang out with my friends. I got to work on projects I wanted to work on. There's still some projects I have not worked on yet that I would like to work on. But hopefully I'll get to that in the future. So, yeah.
It went by fast, of course, as all things do. But I'm happy that it did. I'm happy that it went by fast enough for me to realize how precious it was. And how much I enjoyed myself. It was quick, but it was good. I don't regret it. It wasn't always easy, but it doesn't need to be. The next few months, years, eventually, they're going to be good, but this was the first summer of a better life. Out of the restrictions of being a child and an adolescent, sometimes immature. But now we're entering adulthood. The majority of our life is going to be spent there. And for first summer and that kind of mindset, it helped me do the transition. And that is truly unique.
The sun's hidden behind the clouds. Well, that's the end of it. That's the summer. That's the three boys' summers. I think we all learned a lot. And I think we can all be proud of what they accomplished. But now, what about my summer? How did I spend it? Well, I made a lot of music, and I made some videos, and I sat around a lot. I don't know about really what I did in the ways of getting a job or getting a driver's license. I didn't make any new friends. Didn't have that summer romance I was hoping for. But maybe that's not what's really important. Maybe what's really important is whether or not I really enjoyed my time. Whether or not I made the best of it. And keeping that in mind, I've got to say that fuck school. Fuck school. I'm not going to use that. The sun's hidden behind the clouds. Well, that's the end of it. That's the summer.
Remember those nightmares that I had?
You can say those.
I don't want to say those.